If you haven't liked us on Facebook, really shame on you this time, because it's like the third time I asked y'all to like it. So I'm going to try to do that. And the people that are on here, this is the first, is that 7? First 7 people that are on a list called the body count. There's about 65 people that we know of that have been, I'll say, they have died in the custody of the Chattanooga Police Department. And that's horrible. And with this being the theme, you know, like, of honoring people who have passed away, we wanted to pay homage to them. And so Ms. Maxine graciously let us use her quilt. And so I'm going to read 2 poems that were written to kind of honor that, and also to bring awareness to the fact that this is happening in our like city that we all love to love and like talk bad about. So this is happening and it's real, and Concerned Citizen Justice is fighting to stop it, and we want y'all to join us. So here you go. Call me a nigga with the AH or an ER. Call me a darky, a coon, pickaninny, or whatever the nastiest euphemism is you can think of for a person that's black. Exclude me from your church groups, lunch counters, Girl Scout troops, or even your public schools. Grab your purse when I walk by. Roll your window up because I got too close to your car in the parking lot after sunset. Or follow me way too damn close as I walk around your cheap-ass dollar store. Refuse to give me a loan even though I meet more than the minimum requirements, and do all of these things entirely based on the brown skin that binds my body, and most would call you a racist. But your prejudice, while still very ignorant, isn't my biggest concern. See, I fear systematic, institutionalized racism, or what I like to call white supremacy. See, if this type of discrimination didn't exist, then Marissa Alexander, a black woman, wouldn't have been sentenced to 20 years for firing a warning shot at her abuser who's still alive. Right. Or Troy Davis, a black man, wouldn't have been legally lynched by the state of Georgia based on hearsay and false testimonies that he killed a white cop. And George Zimmerman, a white man, would not have been a free man for nearly 2 months, and still free, might I add, immediately following his murder of a black child, Trayvon Martin. See, in a justice system designed to protect all regardless of skin color, when a husband and a father who was arrested for a misdemeanor and ended up murdered while in police custody, the cop that killed him would at least be charged, but definitely not promoted to train future officers. See, on December 2nd, 1983, Wade Suttles was murdered by officers of Chattanooga Police Department. Lies, deception, corruption, and fraud were all used relentlessly to cover up what would become one of the Scenic city's many cases of unjustified murder by cop. So if your skin color is not white, you can be arrested for the smallest infraction if the wrong cop is on duty. Sometimes you don't even have to commit another crime other than being black. It is not okay for you to sprain my sister's wrist because she demanded to be respected by you. You cannot shine your lights in my window while me and my family attempt to sleep. It is your job to protect me from my attacker and not stand idly by because of some paperwork requirement. But if you don't, we will. We'll stand up for our rights. We'll teach our children to demand respect. Our leaders will continue to pass the torch, giving us their pearls of wisdom so that we recognize that our voices have power. A wise person once said that what's done in the dark has a way of coming to the light. So go ahead, sell your images of beautiful bridges over crystal clear rivers with the convenience of the city and the charm of the country, because one day the truth will be exposed. And until the justice that we define and serve, we will still be fighting for every Chattanoogan to be free. For the idea that at least in this beautiful city, we can all live in peace without police brutality. This is the last one. When the founding documents of this country were created to ensure equality among men, my people weren't considered human. See, the concept of race was created for one reason: to practice racism. That's not cynicism, that's reality. And directly related to that behavior is police brutality. See, black and brown men are arrested at higher rates than white men who commit the same crimes, and if they make it to jail alive, it's a victory, because a lot of my brothers don't survive. They slam their faces in the cement and convince citizens that criminals deserve to be treated like animals. Is a criminal not still a human? If I break laws that are unjust, am I really even a criminal? Is there such thing as a good cop? I'm not starting that debate on my watch, but I'll say this. Even if you are a good person, if your job requires you to enforce racist laws and you do it, then for me, you blew it. If you follow their rules and go to their schools and attend parties at their pools and do all of the other things your idea of success will require you to do, then you aren't fighting for justice. And if you ain't for us, then you against us. So step aside so me and my people can organize and fight the oppressions that we face. Because we all know what it's like to not be in a police officer's good grace. See, we believe poverty is violence. And so is your silence if you don't speak up for what you know is right. We can change how the cops treat our people, but we got to fight. We got to stand up and hold them accountable for their actions. We have to defend what is right, regardless of potential reactions. See, if my brother is not free, then neither am I. So if you black his eye or spray mace in his face or knock 3 of his teeth out and then try to make him seem like the bad guy, I will know about it. Guarantee you I'll shout about it. Make sure everyone I see hears about it and knows that there is no question where I stand on the issue. If you hurt my brother, you hurt me. That's what it means to be a community. See, whether it was my trans sister who got beat up by a homophobic cop because he was attracted to her, or if my sister got raped because she was too scared to report it and got pregnant and had to immediately abort it, or my white brother who needed a lawyer but couldn't afford it. So even though the cops broke his nose, he still went to prison because white supremacy doesn't work that well for poor people either. That's true. Police brutality is all of our problem. We have to put pressure on our officials so they know that we are serious, and we cannot remain oblivious to the fact that they are hurting people and killing innocent men. When will it happen again? Who will it happen to? It could be you. Could be me. That's why I raise my voice and my fist even higher, because before I expire and I'm no longer on this planet, I want it to be better than when I first met it. So even if that means I'm never a famous speaker or poet, or I never get to be on city council, if I never have a Facebook page with the most likes, even if they label me a nappy-headed, angry dyke, which they will, hopefully. They probably won't mention my name with the well-behaved blacks in February, and none of that'll matter as long as they remember me as a revolutionary.